What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It has been a minute, and by a minute I mean it's been a few months, maybe 6, 8. Welcome back, and welcome back to the CB500X. I think the last video I posted was me just playing around with mic placement, which really didn't work out. It was okay, but since then I've gotten a few things for the bike, not very many, and I'll get to why I'm getting a few more things for this bike. But I did get the hand guards. They are not true. They're more wind guards. They're not true hand guards. They will crush. Got a radiator guard, and I did get finally a USB installed here. Dual USB charger, and it works like a charm. Don't need it today, however. That's really all I've added so far. I did make a few. I made a custom rack, my dad and I did, we welded up my own rack. The only thing is I made it kind of wide. It sticks way out because I was trying to avoid the exhaust, but unfortunately I was testing that rack out on this road and I broke it. And I didn't drop the bike, it just, one of my welds looked like a really bad weld, and it was in fact a really bad weld. But let's get moving. Let me first start out by apologizing. This video may be grainy. I don't really know yet. It seems dark to me, like it's very shaded. Let me rephrase that. It is very shaded. It's not dark, but GoPro does not film well in shade or dark. Probably one of the very few dislikes, maybe the only dislike I have for the GoPro, but you can't have it all. I guess you can with a lot of money, but you can't with GoPro. But anyway, so glad to finally be back in recording. It has been months since I've recorded. I actually recorded multiple videos, several, after the trip, and I decided to stop filming and start editing. I was so far behind. There were several reasons why, but it doesn't matter. I was several episodes behind, and I was trying to catch up while working, and I finally got all the videos posted for the trip, which was amazing. And then a couple of videos posted after the trip. Sorry, this road. Gotta pay attention, especially when the sun's in my eyes. So I finally got everything posted, and then decided, hey, it's about time. Today was an impromptu trip to record. I'm actually lucky that one of the batteries was charged, not fully charged, so I don't know how long this video is going to be. But I wanted to get back and talk about what I have planned in the future for some episodes. I don't really have a lot of subscribers, so I don't really expect a ton of feedback. I do have a few people who follow me closely, which is nice, and I thank you guys for it. But first thing is this episode, which is just me talking like I like to do. And I am talking on, what road is this? I'm riding on Table Rock Road, which is part of the Trans-America Trail if you're following Sam's maps. And I was trying to say Sam's route and Sam's maps, so raps, that's what you get. This is a section that we ended up skipping, but I ride this road often, so it wasn't ever that too much of a deal for me to skip it. So this episode, me talking about what I like to do. Next episode, I think I'm going to go ahead and sit down and figure out how much I spent on this trip, because I would like to do an episode and kind of prepare people on what they would spend or kind of expect to spend. Granted, gas prices are totally different between each bike, or not, you know, how much they hold. It's also very different between each state and area and region, and so is the cost of camping and staying. So I'm going to sit down and figure out a very, I shouldn't say a very rough, but not a super accurate estimate, but an accurate-ish estimate of how much we spent. It's going to be so dark in this section in this video. And then another video probably talking about all of my gear. I don't know, I just don't think that'd be very interesting, like what I packed and stuff. I posted it in all of my videos. The description has all my descriptions in those videos from I think day number 2 or 3 or something like that, have all the stuff that I took. Well, the majority of the stuff that I took. I wouldn't take as much as I did if I did it again, but I don't know. It is nice to have all the stuff with you just in case. So that's going to be another video. I'd also like to do just a couple of videos of riding around like this here. Maybe there's more light. And then my plan as of now, and actually it was kind of up in the air until literally probably an hour ago. So the 3 of us that started the trip, we get together every year and we do something. We don't live close to each other anymore, but you know, we didn't want to do another motorcycle trip. Oh, well, I'll do a motorcycle trip every year, but not every one of them. Well, I don't know. Let me focus here, because there's a lot of dips. There we go. It's not as viable to make another trip like that. There's no, like, none of us can take off 30 days again. Also, it's not cheap. It turned out to be quite a bit more expensive than we expected, or than I expected anyway, and I'm not really to spend that kind of money for that long of a trip again. But so this year we were kind of thinking of what we'd like to do, because we usually do camping trips or something. It's usually camping, and it's usually a 3 or 4 day camping trip. But this year I mentioned it, you know, we could do camping again, or we could take another trip. It's not going to work out, another motorcycle trip, but it's not going to work out for us to take another motorcycle trip. So I mentioned, which is something I've wanted to do for a couple of years that I've been thinking about it. I would like to do a kayaking trip where you just kayak down a river for, you know, a week, maybe 10 days. Probably can't tell, but there's a lot of dips and a lot of big rocks. I shouldn't say big rocks, but enough to throw your wheel off the ground. I wanted to take a kayaking trip, and I mentioned that of us possibly taking off on a trip of like 7 to 8 days, where we'll park a truck in one town, park a truck in another, and we'll just float down the river for a week, and fish along the way and camp along the way and have a good time. But it looks like they're not going to be able to get time off this year. Their jobs are kind of sucking them in, and such is life, you know. I switched jobs as well, so I'm not going to get to take off 30 days, but I have secured 10 days? I think it's 10, maybe 9 days, 9 or 10 days. So I mentioned to them of taking a trip on that week. However, they may not be able to, so my gears have switched back to taking another motorcycle trip for the 10 days that I'm off. That's probably going to be, you know, a day of getting to the destination, or sorry, the start. I'd say that evening after work I'll go to where I'm going to start, and then probably 9 days of a trip with 1 day of getting back. That being said, it's going to be on this bike, which I didn't do on the Transamerica Trail first, because I really, like I've said several times, I really wanted to take the CRF to show you that, you know, that little thing can track her across the country, and it did just fine. But I'm not going to buy another motorcycle for a 10-day trip. However, I do have a few things I'd like to get for this bike, just to get it ready. If I can get my rack welded back together and fixed and ready to go for a long trip, I'll take bags, the same bags that I took last year. But I'm actually thinking of just taking a big backpack. Like, I think maybe I have like a 50-liter backpack as a dry bag, and just put the stuff in that and just run a backpack. Or that same backpack and just strap it to the back of the seat, because I'm not going to need all the stuff that I had. I'm not going to take as many tools. I don't need to take the tubes, because these are tubeless tires. I don't need to take, I'm back and forth about taking camping gear. I'm considering maybe just hotel and motel in it. I don't know, we'll see. Or Airbnb in too, but This is how far I made it last time when the rack broke. Not very far, unfortunately. So, the plan is to start where we started last year and do the Trans-American Trail. How original, right? No, but seriously, the plan this time is going to be just me. Unless Cody was able to get off some time and he wants to do it again, then that's great. But I plan on it being just me. I plan on I'm taking this bike, which is going to cruise a lot faster on the highway sections. Also back here, you know, I can cruise a lot faster than we were going, you know, last year. But definitely not on these tires. I need some different tires. But other than tires, probably get a skid plate just for a little bit of protection. But the plan is to do the Trans-America Trail and stay on the trail as much as I can, unless it's blocked. And there are a couple sections that are still blocked. But as far as the destination, like the day-by-day destination, it is going to be about the same. The difference is it's going to be primarily trail. The truth is, I'm actually back and forth about filming it. I have a YouTube channel now dedicated to filming this trip. I just realized I keep looking down, and I'm not looking down at anything. I'm tilting my helmet down so my visor blocks the sun, because it's kind of like right in my eyes. But anyway, I've already done some math, especially after the trip and during the trip, just to figure out how fast I can go on roads like this on this bike. And it really does seem like my day-to-day destination is going to be very similar to what we did. So my plan really, the plan is almost, it can be exactly as the same as it was last year. I don't really have to make any kind of adjustments, but much less gear. That's really it. I'm not taking extra gas this time either, because that CRF got in one full tank 120 miles. I never ran the tank dry, but it got at least to 120 miles on a full tank, and the extra gas can that I had got at least 100 miles on it as well. So I was easily able to get 220 miles on the tank and the extra gas can. I can easily get 220 miles on this bike without extra gas. And already knowing where everything's at over here, and I have already done, already completed this side of the country for the trip, there aren't really, honestly, I don't feel like there's any shortage of gas stations, and I think I'll be just fine. I think it'll be easy to find a place to go to get gas, and I think that I don't need to take any extra gas. So it'll be less weight, less to pack. I'll be able to cruise pretty quick, and that's, yeah. So anyway, that's the plan for now. I'm pretty excited about it, but I don't have much else to say today. That's been a tentative plan until kind of today. Today it was kind of settled. So I think the rest of this episode, before I run out of all my sunlight, I got to get through this road because I've got to get home. And I prefer to get home before it gets dark. So I guess enjoy Table Rock Road. And who am I kidding? I'll still talk here and there, but I can actually focus a little more now rather than think about my talking points. So I'm going to pick it up. riding this a lot without leaves in it, so it was much easier to see around all the curves and go a bit quicker. But now I can't see if something's coming around the curve or not. Oh wow, that wasn't here last time. Hot in his helmet. That tree was not here either. Shoot, I don't think it was.